JamiThatsMe here. Let's go ahead and get into love and marriage Huntsville. Okay, so Melody and Martell. Martell is in the room knocked out, okay, because y'all know he hung out at Jalen's party. So he knocked out. Mel going there. She threw a pillow on him. He's like, what the hell? She's like, yeah, what the hell you was doing? Okay, where was you at? You know I'm pregnant. You know I need you here when I say you need to be here. So what's T? What was you at? I'm having a hard time believing that he never told her where he was to begin with. But okay then, girl. So he tells her, well, you know, I hung out at Jalen's party. Oh, okay, you did. Well, how was it? Well, it was good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hung out. You know, the guys party hopped or whatever. And we gave Jalen some really good advice. And I mean, it was cool for what it was. Oh, really? So y'all gave some good advice. Who was giving advice, Martell? Well, I was giving advice, everybody was. And she says, well, I know Marsau and Martel wasn't giving no advice about women because y'all do a terrible job with that already, period. Okay, so, all right, girl. So he brings up the fact that he had a conversation with Marsau. He was like, yeah, I ain't mentioned that, you know, I had stepped outside, I had a conversation with Marsau, and he told me how you went around telling our business about what's going on with us and this and that. Why are you always doing it? And she's like, why am I always doing that, Martell? Well, then why are you doing things to make people be in our business? Why are you doing that, Martell? And I'm kind of with Martell. He said something like, well, at the end of the day, when you have a male, you know, a marriage or whatever, regardless of who does or whatever, and it's within the marriage, you ain't got to go out and tell everybody. And I'm kind of with him on that. Like, she ain't got to, true enough, she had a point, like, stop doing things to make me have a conversation about. But then if it's between y'all, let it be between y'all, okay? Because you bringing in outside opinions. Y'all already got your own issues to work out, but you only making it harder for yourself because you got these outside opinions, these outside thoughts, this all extra, this, and it ain't even got to be like that. So, I mean, I was kind of with Martell on that. So then he brings up the conversation about the therapist, like, will she go? He feels like that's going to help them get to a better place in the relationship, and she says she agrees to do that, to move forward with him in whatever progression as far as the therapist and their relationship and all that stuff is concerned. So she's like, okay, yeah, I'm down, I'm cool with that. Kimmy's out with her sister. She's looking for a venue because she's about to host this event, you know, for women that don't have much education, don't have much resources financially or whatever. She wants to do an event for them. And she was telling her sister the time frame of when she was trying to do it. And she was like, girl, are you sure? Because don't you get Monster around that time? Yeah, I do get Monster, but here's the gag. Here's the gag, girl. So Maurice is trying to get Monster and them to come on down. Them? Who the hell is them? Well, Kaya with her husband and Monster, he's trying to relocate them here. So if he can do that, like, that'll be pretty good. She was like, you with that? Yeah, girl, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. Don't get me twisted. I'm with it. What I'm not with is the drama, okay? So we all went and we sat down, we had a conversation, and I was telling her, you know, like, you said this, you said that, you said this, and it's like she just can't remember anything that she says, you know. But she says the main issue she got with me is the fact that I started dating him when and they weren't done. And I was like, no ma'am, y'all are done, girl. Y'all been finished. Y'all are done. Y'all are finished. I don't know what else you want me to tell you, but it's over, okay? So I mean, that's what I told her, girl. Like, I mean, but I don't want no drama or whatever, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't really know what to say about that. When she said she told her that they were done dating, I thought she said they started out as friends first and then they started dating. So maybe that's what she meant, like they were done dating because they were friends or whatever. But I don't know. Niggas play games all the time, girl. So he could have been seeing both of y'all. I'm not really sure. But good luck with that, Kimmy, you know. Kimmy says she feels like she deserves an apology. I kind of feel like she do too, because Kimmy said, I'm not talking about stuff that you said years ago. I'm talking about stuff that you just said about me recently to my own husband, to my own man. So girl, no ma'am, you're gonna need to run it. I'm gonna need that apology. I'm gonna need it real quick. Figure it out. I'm gonna need it. Thank you. And I think she should get her apology, but I feel like she should get an apology from her husband first, as well as Kaya will, you know, let bygones be bygones and y'all move forward for the betterment of the family and all that other stuff. So, okay. The hosts are having a radio interview with Tony Terrell. She brings up a lot of the changes that are taking place on the north side. She feels like the hosts had a lot to do with that. And they was like, yeah, you know, we have had a lot to do with it. She was like, well, these houses look really nice and stuff, you know. Are they extremely expensive? And Martell was like, well, no, they very affordable because we even sold a house before we even broke ground or finished or did anything. You know what I'm saying? The house was already sold and he sold higher than the market rate. So, I mean, girl, we good this way. She was like, okay, all right. She was like, well, let me get into something else. Let me switch gears a little bit. What's going on with the combat group? And Mel tried to give like a really political answer, I guess. And she was like, well, you know, we're trying to figure some things out. You know, we're doing this and we're doing that. And we're just trying to figure out, you know, if everybody does their thing individually, how we can come back together and do it, you know, as one. And Tony was like, well, girl, that's their way of saying ain't shit happening, girl. Ain't nothing going on. They're not doing nothing. I mean, there's absolutely, I mean, That ain't shit. Basically, you know how you have these R&B groups, they be together and then they get ready to transition and they break up so everybody go off and do their solo thing. That's how I feel about this right here. You know, so I feel like Tony hit the nail on the head. I don't know what the hell finna happen with the combat group. So then she brings up another conversation about Martell being a cheater or whatever. And he was like, well, correction, girl, I was a cheater, but I ain't no cheater no more. I don't want to be a player no more. That's how I feel, okay? I'm not trying to do none of that. And I've been riding the wave real smooth. She said, well, how has it been? Has people been coming up to you, Melanie Martell, approaching y'all since they know how your man get down? You know what I'm saying? That's one way that they can attack your marriage and get all in it. And Melanie was like, well, girl, they don't come to me. No, ma'am. They don't come to me about nothing, girl, okay? They may come to him, so I'm going to send that question over there, but they don't come this way. And Martell was like, well, they don't come to me either. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that was something we were dealing with. That's my past, and I'm trying to move forward, and we're going to progress from there. So that was that, honey. Tisha and Marsau at the house. Tisha do not want to go to this damn game night because Melanie Martell, they're going to do this game night. She don't want to go at all. And Marsau is like, well, listen, you know, I'm afraid that they're going to start telling my business, okay? And you really going to find out the women I've been on you about. Like, girl, I just feel like we just need to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing friendship. I think we should just we need to do what we need to do to mend fences because I don't need none of my skeletons coming out this damn closet. So what you want to do, you know? And she's still not feeling it. She feeling the way. So he felt like, okay, well, let me throw something at her, like a sympathy thing. So listen, Mel, I went to the office the other day. I told you about that, right? Yeah. Well, Martell wasn't there, so I had a conversation with Mel. Okay, and what did she say? Well, what she told me was that old girl hit the phone. Hold on, wait. Old girl hit the phone recently? The girl he was having a relationship with hit the phone? Yeah, so she's really going through a lot right now. And Tisha was like, okay, yeah, you right. I guess I'll go and be supportive. I'm going to try. I just can't take it when she be trying to come at my neck, come at my head and throw all this stuff out there at me, you know. But I mean, for you, I will, okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that, and we're going to see how it's going to play out. Melody and Martell getting ready for game night or whatever. As they're preparing for game night, they got Maurice and Kimmy having a conversation amongst themselves at home about the combat group. You know, he put on his combat group shirt, and he's hoping that the conversation comes back up and they can figure out a direction for it. And Kimmy says she just feels a way that everything has been stagnant because a lot of the stuff that she's about to do on her own, she wishes that she could do it together with the group. But, you know, it sucks. So she talks about how there was an interview that took place, and everything was about the host. And Maurice was like, yeah, they asked, what does everybody else have going on? And not one time did they mention some of the things that you got going on, which is your event that's coming up. And she said, you know what, that's understood. It's always the focus is the host. I'm confused on what the issue is as to why the hell they ain't got the combat group out anyway. Why y'all created it if y'all ain't want to do shit with it. So maybe they saw more money and don't want to split the money as many ways. Or what the hell ever, you know. That's probably like, damn, we do this, we gotta split the money like 6 ways or however many ways, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get the bulk of it, so let's just put it on hold, let's just let it dissolve and not say nothing about it. So I mean, I'm confused on that, but obviously that's something that really bothers Tisha. Kimmy, and Kimmy's gonna bring it up once she get there. So Maurice and Kimmy make it over to Martell and Melody's house so that they can, you know, get ready for this game night. So when they there, you know, Maurice is like, well, where the kids at? You know, and he was like, well, the kids ain't here, they gone. That's what Martell said. And Maurice said, oh, so we playing adult games, huh? And then Martell said, now, you know, when it comes to the host, we are not good at that at all. We are not good at playing those kind of games. And then Kimmy says, well, y'all got 3 children, honey, so obviously y'all been doing something good. You know what I'm saying? Some y'all got something going on. And he was like, yeah, we plan on having 5, you know what I'm saying? And then Maurice said, oh, so y'all working on 2 more. He was like, 1 more. And Kimmy said, now, I know I can damn count well. So if you got 3 and you working on 1 more, does that mean that she pregnant now? And of course that pissed what's her name off, Melody off a little bit because she wasn't ready to release that information, but obviously Martell was. And so she was like, oh, my husband, he can't keep his penis nor our family business in check or whatever. And I'm like, well, obviously you can't either, so y'all peas in the pie, okay? You went out telling business to Marsau, and then he going out telling business over here. The only difference is that he did it in your face. So, okay, girl. But yeah, so she ends up confirming the truth, saying that, you know, they're pregnant, whatever, whoop de whoop. So next thing you know, Marsau and Tisha arrive. So when they arrive, that was Mel's turn to take Kimmy outside to have a conversation with her to let her know, like, girl, listen, whatever we just discussed, that between me and you, me and Tisha ain't on that wave yet. for me to have this conversation with her, so I would appreciate it if you kept that between you and I. And Kimmy was like, girl, well, you know me, I don't tell people business. That's just not something that I do, so I ain't got no problem with that. Like, girl, yes, I'll keep it between you and I can appreciate that out of Kimmy, especially with something so special like that. Let that person tell that. You know what I'm saying? That's not my place or my job to tell you that somebody else is pregnant, you know? Let them tell you. If they want you to know, they'll let your ass know, so I can appreciate that. So Tisha peeps that. She feels away, but she walks outside. She's like, hey, y'all, what's going on with y'all out here talking about? You know what I'm saying? What's good? It was like, and Kimmy was like, well, girl, we over here talking about the lake. Okay, and about how I would sit out here all day if this was my house, girl. Isn't it beautiful, you know? And so she says, we haven't seen each other since Gatlinburg. Like, have y'all talked since Gatlinburg? And Mel and Tisha was like, no, we haven't talked or whatever like that. So then Tisha says, well, you know, I just really want things to get back to normal between you and I. Want us to get back cool. Like, I don't want all that drama stuff. And then Mel was like, well, I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want all that drama stuff either, girl. I got too much going on in my life to be worried about that. And then Tisha said, well, could there be some type of apologies or something like that? And then Mel said, well, I appreciate that. There could be some apologies. But I'm the type of person where I feel like, you know, when people do things, they should own their shit. Tisha says, yeah, right, because I own my shit. And I'm like, I don't know if you really owned it, Tisha, okay? And you should definitely apologize. And you should have been the first person to apologize because you tried to throw her situation up in her face. I don't feel like she really tried to throw your husband's situation up in your face. She was just making a statement as in, like, shit, these things happen once my husband started hanging out with your man. And then you took offense and whatever. And I can't say that you shouldn't have, but that's what happened. So y'all definitely should have, you know, apologized to each other, which they did. So Melanie apologized for anything she may have done to offend Tisha or make her feel any type of way or uncomfortable or whatever. And then Tisha turned around and she returned the favor to apologize to her. So supposedly a clean slate and everybody just moved forward. Okay. So Derek gets to the house with his wife, and then I believe another couple of Derek comes to the house with his wife. So everybody around there playing this Huntsville Monopoly game. It was cute. They was having a good time. And then Tisha brings up the radio interview. She was like, hey, you guys had a radio interview the other day, and you talked about some of the things that you were doing out in the community. And I kind of felt the way because I feel like those are some things that I thought we could have been doing together. So a big old conversation sparked from that. Martell felt as though I've been doing things prior to the comeback group, so it's not just gonna start or stop with the comeback group and what's her name, Kimmy was like, well, I have as well, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, but not to the degree that I have been doing it. She was like, well, wait a minute, you don't know what the hell I've been doing, do you know? And he was like, no. He was like, but why would we even do anything with the comeback group and we ain't even real friends? And then Tisha was like, well, wait a minute, honey, because y'all brought us here to further develop a better friendship, is that right? You know, so then Mr. LaDerrick, whoever the new person is, he stands up and says, like, the whole idea and concept of combat group is great, you know, but it's not even real. Like, who even owns it? And Kimmy was like, we own it and it is real, so sit your ass down, you know. And I was like, ooh, somebody had to tell me over here talking and doing all this and don't even know what we talk about. You should have sat out and shut the hell up, okay? Just don't even say nothing. So, what's her name? Mel felt like, well, look, I don't feel like nobody should be doing anything with the combat group or its name or whatever without getting approval. And then Kimmy was like, well, girl, we're not doing that anyway. She was like, oh, you not? Well, let me talk about your event. What about the event that you got going on? And it says, come meet the combat group. Do you not have that on there? So they started having an exchange of words. She said, I just feel like things, Mel says, I just feel like things should get approved before you go out there and do something. Marsau immediately hops in and says, who all in agreement with that? Who all in agreement with that? Raises his hand. And then Maurice raises his hand, and then Tisha raised her hand, and I just kind of felt some way in that scene. I'm sure they left out a lot of details for us, but I just felt the way that, Maurice, you came out better. Just don't even raise your hand. Just sit there and shut up. You know what I'm saying? Just be quiet, because at this point, I feel like you just have no support for your wife at all. Shout out to you for not being a man that cheats or whatever the hell. But, I mean, dude, come on. I just felt like he raising his hand, so you're going against your wife in this moment. You are highly aware of the event that she was about to put out there. You are highly aware that she said whatever she said at the bottom, because if you're her quote-unquote best friend and you're her husband, I'm sure she showed it to you. I'm sure you saw it on her page or something. It was like, okay, babe, I see you with the combat group. Da, 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 da. You even came up to wear a damn shirt so the conversation could come back up. So for you to raise your hand like that, I mean, I just felt like he went against his wife. Which further talks about the conversation later on when she feels like she needs an apology, you know. And in the next episode, he's going to bring up something about, I don't think that you're ready for you're ready to receive an apology, or you're ever going to receive an apology or whatever. Whether she gets it or not, she needs to know that you support her and you got her fucking back and that you stood up for her. And right now you're doing a poor ass job of that shit, period. So I just felt the way in that whole scene or whatever. So Kimmy was like, well, Tisha said, girl, come downstairs with me, Kimmy. Come on downstairs. So she took Kimmy downstairs, and I felt like she used that as a moment to see if she was going to get inside of Kimmy's mind to find out what was really being talked about. So they kind of had a conversation, and Kimmy was just like, girl, I just can't do it. Like, it's getting exhausting at this point. Like, it's just whack. Like, I want to do this or that. Ain't nobody else trying to do it. I'm just going to do this shit by myself because ain't nobody trying to do it. Like, what's the point of having it? Like, this is stupid. So Tisha's like, well, girl, I hear you, and I think that's sad, but I got another question, okay? What the hell was you and me outside talking about? She was like, no, you don't want to talk about it? Was it about me? I don't believe you. Baby, you ain't got to believe me. Okay, I'm already pissed the hell off. These hoes that made me mad. Okay, and I'm trying not to snap on you because you asked me about some dumb ass information. Because you know Mel don't fuck with you, and whatever we was talking about ain't none of your business. Okay? But since you must know, girl, I'm going to tell you like this. I ain't going to never say nothing about you behind your back that I can't say in your face. Let's be very clear. Okay? You should know me better than that. Okay? It was not about you. It had nothing to do with you at all. It was between me and her. Okay? So you ain't got to believe me, but you got to trust that. And Tisha was like, well, girl, I trust it. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to ask. Yeah, that's cute. I'm glad you asked, but you may want to go ahead and go back upstairs. I'm going to hang down here for a little bit because I need to cool off because I'm mad as hell. Okay? And I appreciate you for coming down here because my own husband didn't even walk his ass down here. Okay? Let's be very clear, but I appreciate that. Okay? All right, I'm going to see you in a minute, girl. Okay. Tisha goes to her confessional and says, well, I guess Mel and Kimmy, you know, they're the new best friends or whatever. Basically, Tisha is feeling left out. That's all that is. She just feeling left out, but you should expect it. Like, she's not gonna, y'all not talking like that. She's not gonna tell you that. And for you to just assume that shit be about you when it's not, and then for her to say, well, I'm surprised Mel would even apologize to me, you know, after she tried to hurt me or for wanting to hurt me. Mel wasn't trying to hurt you. It had nothing to do with you. What that is, those are some issues that you had when you were a fucking child, okay? Those are issues that you had stemming from a while ago when you probably felt left out or not included or whatever because you felt different or whatever the hell you had going on, resurfacing at this moment right now. But it ain't got nothing to do with you, and you just got to respect that. And in due time, when they want you to know, they're going to let you know what's up. But okay then, Tisha girl. All right. So Melanie and Martell get to the therapist, sitting down, having a conversation face to face. She starts telling Martell how it made her feel or how she's been feeling over the past few months or whatever, or just in the marriage with him. He begins to explain to her why he kind of cheated or what was going on with him and stuff. And she kind of like, what I hated to see was her trying so hard not to be emotional. And it's like, that's one thing I don't like about people sometimes. Own who you are. You know, eventually she got to that place. But it's like, if you're emotional, cry. And that's what I always tell my child, you know, if that's how you feel, own how you feel, and don't let nobody else tell you how the fuck you're supposed to feel. And I feel like she just tried to, for so long, hold up the front like she's straight and be tough, girl. Man, if you hurt, dog, cry. If you're emotional, cry. That's how I felt for that scene. And I could be wrong, could have misjudged it, but that's how I'm like, girl, just be emotional. This is when you be real with your man and how you really feeling and be genuine. And if he don't hear you any other time, he probably gonna hear you when he sees you, like when he see you crying, like when he sees what's up. So anywho, they had the conversation, and basically Martell talked a lot about how he sees Mel excelling, but she never really gives him the proper props that he would want her to give. Like when she get out there on stage and she says what she says, it's like, damn, I helped you with that too. So like, you just not gonna mention me? And then the therapist is like, well, it sounds like, wow, brother, like the stuff you mentioned, it sounds like that you have issues with not being acknowledged and validated by very important people in your life. And I was like, I agree with that. You trying to hold her on a pedestal against whoever else you got an issue with, and that's not her fault. That's not her job. You need to go back to those people. You need to resolve that within yourself. So I don't really have too much to say about that scene, but I'm glad that they were able to have a conversation, and it seems like the therapist kind of saw it in Mel's way, as far as how she's been feeling and him wanting to need, you know, validation. Mel doesn't feel like she needs validation like that. And I don't know, it was just an interesting scene to see. between the two, and maybe this is a start of them getting back on the same path. And obviously this is going to be a trigger for Martell to go back and have conversations with those important people that he felt did not acknowledge him. So yeah, and even with that, just because she didn't acknowledge you to the capacity in which you wanted, she still acknowledged you. You know what I'm saying? She still gave you space to do some of the stuff that you did, that you needed to do for your career. She gave you so much space that you even used the space she gave you to go out and cheat on her. You know what I'm saying? Yet she don't get credit for having her time not be so wide to where she can cheat on you. And even then, she not getting credit for using her time so wisely, being so busy that she don't have the time to cheat on her man. She only got time to cater to your ass and be a mother to your children. So he needs to stop with all these expectations that he got of her and start appreciating who she is to him. But okay then, girl, I guess, like, yikes. But yeah, so we'll see more on the episode coming up. I think he's gonna have a sit down with his father and hash out some things, have conversations, and rebuild from there. But again, that's all I got. I'm JamiThatsMe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Bye bye.